Hi guys, 732 Review Crew back. I'm Mikey.
And I'm Eddie.
And we're here with Season 2, Episode 6 of the live-action One Piece.
Yeah.
Last episode, we left Little Garden after kind of scoring a big dub for everybody, and Nami unfortunately passed out.
Yeah.
So things are happening that aren't very, good for the crew right now, especially because without a functioning navigator, it's going to be a little bit hard for us to navigate the Grand Line.
Yeah, I mean, she collapsed on the ground. I think there's bigger problems than current navigation. Like, what's wrong with her?
We're in the middle of the ocean, though.
Yeah.
So we got to find our way somewhere to get help. So without further ado, we're going to figure that out. Now, we've watched the anime, read the manga, so we know how that's going to happen, but we're going to watch how it happens in the live action.
We also have new hats.
2, 1. Yeah, we got new hats. Thanks, Netflix.
What is that?
That's good. This has to be it, right? That was really good. I like that.
Was really good.
So,
that was cute.
Chopper. I think it looks good for what we're looking for, and the voice was pretty good too.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, it's all there. It's not Chopper's not something that exists in the real world. Like you can only do what you can do to make it live action, you know.
And he looks really good, and it looks the voice is spot on for what Chopper's voice is supposed to be. You know, like a kind of high pitched boy voice, but like
a little kid. Yeah,
a little kid. It's obviously always done by a woman, like most cartoons do. So you hear that a little bit, and they do good. And then we have Dr. Cray on this episode, played by Kei Sagal, who we all know from Futurama.
And like
a bunch of other stuff. But like me and you watch a lot of Futurama.
I do love Futurama.
Were you able to hear some like Leela slip through in a few moments? Like 1 or 2 times she said like a word.
A little bit.
Like a little bit. But it was good enough that it wasn't spot on, and which is what I wanted. I didn't want to hear Leela when I watched that, especially because she's supposed to be older. So it's really good that she filled that. And I think she filled that role of Cray really well with just the attitude, the action, and the physical look. I know everyone wanted like Jamie Lee Curtis, but like she's also really good.
Yeah, no, I think that was great.
It was great.
I think the casting in this show is pretty much always very spot on.
Dalton.
I really like Dalton. I know you said you wanted to talk about that later. Yeah, I think he's just a really good guy. I always really liked his character, so I'm glad to see that even in this, he's still a really good guy.
And they give us a little background on Dalton. So obviously he is the captain of the guard of the civilians, but then he's also in Wapple's personal ensemble when they're at Mary. How do they pronounce it? Mary Joyce? Mary Joyce?
Mary Joyce?
Mary Joyce?
I don't know.
I actually, most of the time I read it.
I just read it.
Yeah. So like he's there. They don't tell us that he was a part of Wapple's crew, or not crew, but his like group or anything like that. But it's easy to assume that he was a part of it when we see him with the other two.
Oh, he obviously had a higher role to play. He was at the World Summit.
But it allows him to see how his king is acting around other kings and families and stuff.
I think he knows how his king is. And I think, like, what are you gonna do when you're an honorable dude who like respects like the chain of command? Yeah. Like he's terrible, but like he's your king.
But what I want to bring up is like he watched Ingram interact with Vivi, who had a really great moment. When she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry," diffused the whole Wapple situation. And, a lot of that stuff wasn't in the anime, so it's cool to see these little background buildings, especially with the kings gathering so early. And so we see, she diffuses the situation. Obviously, she was scared and hurt, but she's able to do so. And I think Dalton recognizes that. And part of it is Vivi is being raised so well, and then Igram is also able to raise her a bit too, because we know Igram helped raise her because of the whole situation.
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't say...
You don't think
Dalton's relating like that, because it's not like it was Dalton's job to... Wapple, like, was just... He's just a terrible person. Just always has been a selfish brat.
But I think that's what he's looking at. He's looking at what he could have had if Wapple wasn't a selfish brat and was more nice like the father, like Wapple was talking about.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of like almost like a juxtaposition between Dalton and Igram to be like, this is what you could have had, and thus why he's such a protector of the people. Now, I love the little bit of fleshing out of like that whole situation. Seeing all the kings was great, but I think what really helps shine in this episode is the fleshing out of the Straw Hat crew a little bit. Like Usopp sitting there building stuff and talking to Vivi and being like Zoro, occupy your mind, stop worrying, because we're all going to worry, and we need to have faith in Luffy is kind of the whole situation, because if Nami believes in him, we have to, and we can't just sit here worrying we're not going to do anything, because Usopp kind of relates to Vivi in the situation where they feel useless, they can't do anything. And that's the whole thing.
But the thing that pisses me off about Usopp is he feels useless, but it's also by choice.
Yeah.
Like, he chickened out of going. Not that they even asked him to go, and then felt bad he chickened out of going, even though they weren't like, you should go and do this.
But then he comes back, so he's obviously building something. I don't know what he's building.
He's doing something.
I think we kind of know what he's building, but we're not going to say. Obviously, he might be building that. But it's cool to see Usopp inventing and then have Vivi part of it and build their relationship, which makes me also realize you were like, stop saying Vivi's name. Remember that?
Yeah.
Do you think Dalton just recognized her off the bat, and that's why he let her in too?
I mean, I think he absolutely recognized her.
So,
I mean, how many blue-haired princesses named Vivi could one person meet in their lifetime?
Well, here's the thing too. You don't know, like, if they're not saying, Viva, I forgot her full name, Vivi.
Nefertate,
yeah,
whatever.
Vivi. But like, it's obvious enough, because I mean,
yeah,
it'd be like if, for example, just like,
So there's a girl that shows up with blue hair named Vivi, and she uses her political skills to get them into the city. I'm pretty sure he put it together.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he put
you're
it together.
Right. So the whole climbing the mountain scene obviously was really great. They did skip a few things,
and I'm happy they did, because we really would have gotten nothing from that.
Well, the bunnies.
Yeah, but that's just like filler.
Well, it is a little filler, but it's like in that filler moments, Luffy like talks to the rabbits and befriends them, and it furthers who he is as a person, because he feels bad about like, beating them all up, and then they come back in the end to like help us. So like, that's what I'm curious what's going to change.
Yeah, I just think in the live action it would have been pretty impractical for him to be like fighting through the mountains and climbing all while Nami's like extremely not make it through the night sick.
So I mean, that's cool though, enough to show like, I mean, the struggle was enough. I mean, Sanji fell, Luffy fell, Luffy's hands bled on the climb, Sanji broke his ribs. You were asking for them to show how strong Luffy is, and he caught Sanji with his mouth, which obviously shows how strong he is. It makes me wonder, like, I've never thought about Luffy extending his head like that.
He's done it.
I've never thought about it though. It just looks so interesting, but it was a cool way to save the day type situation. But then also go and show how Luffy thinks kind of too. Was like, he's like, I can't let go. He's like, mouth.
Yeah, and it adds a little bit of that like One Piece ridiculousness to the live action, because obviously this is like definitely in a more serious light than the anime and the manga, because it is like realism and it's Netflix, so it's for like a bigger audience. But they have moments like that really is reminiscent of the anime, because you just look at that and you're like, what?
So I realized something they changed too. So we got to see moments change. We got Wapple eating his fruit in the live action. He looked crazy eating that fruit.
Yeah, in the anime, I think he just had it.
No, in the anime, he just shows up on the ship with his, because he's like, he shows up on the ship.
Terrible scene of him eating that fruit.
And he's eating the Mary in the anime. He shows up in the Mary and eats it, and then Luffy's like, you can't do that, and he blasts him away like Team Rocket. So they kind of rewrote that, and I don't mind that, because it adds a little bit more, imposingness to his character. Because if the first time we see him, Luffy launches him, it's kind of like, this guy sucks.
Yeah.
And I like how they brought up the hippo, by the way. So I wonder if was he eating the hippo, or are they giving him the hippo?
No, the devil fruit?
No, because he had a hippo that he rode.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, but I mean, obviously we got to see Baroque works and how it works. So some of the kingdoms, maybe specifically, Wappo was funding Baroque works to help get rid of Alabasta because of his hate towards them.
Yeah,
which is obviously here we see, Miss All Sunday, I believe her name is currently, in a great outfit in a great moment, being great. I love her. And then we see Smoker, and
not biased at all.
No, not at all. Yeah, completely biased, by the way. Top 3 character in One Piece. So we see Smoker kind of showing how terrifying he is in this, because I mean, all he's fought is the Straw Hat crew, and I think what that does is goes to show how strong the crew is too, because Smoker completely destroyed that Miss Baseball, whatever her name is.
The crew did not beat Smoker.
No, but they didn't get destroyed by him either completely. They got saved by Dragon.
Because of a third party.
Yes, but that one baseball girl got literally completely destroyed by a one swing from Smoker, and the Mr. 11, by the way, Mr. 1, that's crazy. I can't believe.
I saw the one.
The one. I know. I was so
like,
funny.
Is that Mr. One?
That would have been such a retcon. That would have been like Snape in the new Harry Potter level.
We're not. No.
No, but because they already announced the casting for Mr. One too. They did like a whole release.
Oh, yeah,
but
I don't look at any of that stuff.
I just pops up. But what's it called? So I mean, obviously we see how strong Tashigi is because in that she like completely destroys him in a fight too.
I mean, he's Mr. 11.
But Zoro completely
Like
destroyed
they just fought
Tashigi.
Mr. 3, and it's like numbers descending in strength. Like he's Mr. 11. Sorry,
Exactly.
Tashigi is just like.
And they're giving her like fights they don't usually give, which is cool because they're building Tashigi up a little bit and helping her with her dream because One Piece is about dreams. But one of the things that's also being shown in this is
She has the most unrealistic dream in all of One Piece.
Yeah.
She's not accomplishing it.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Because
she's not.
you know who she has to fight.
I'm well aware of the multiple people she has to take a sword.
The most important person she'd have to fight to get a sword is Mihawk
And Zoro.
and Zoro.
So like just
Not even
stop
happening.
there.
Not even happening. I wouldn't be surprised if
There's other characters that have other ones I'm not gonna say because we're in a live action video and there were no.
Well, I mean, one of the ones you could like think of is, I mean, specifically, I'm not going to say, but
I could think of multiple. I'm not
We know
saying
them,
any of them.
but it's
That's
fun.
what
Yeah. But regardless, I'm very excited. I'm really happy with how Chopper is portrayed and how fast this is going because with 2 episodes left, I mean, it's pretty clear to see how they're going to wrap it up, and it's going to be pretty good, which leaves next season to be the Alabasta arc, probably, which is what they've been building towards this whole season.
Yes.
And I'm very excited for that. And they keep mentioning the ducks, so I really hope they bring the ducks to the next season.
Next episode, I'm assuming we're getting Chopper's backstory, and I don't think I'm ready for that because he is so cute.
God, I got chills thinking about that.
Yeah.
I can't. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mikey.
I'm Eddie.
Check out Patreon. Support goes a long way for that. Full lengths, as well as make sure you subscribe if you're new here. Comment in the video. Let us know your One Piece experiences. Live action, the first thing for you, or you manga readers like us, or anime watchers like us. Otherwise, see you next time. Bye.